in my case, when you become a fundamentalist and you're adopting this fundamentalist ideology, you must take a lot of effort and a lot of care to very carefully construct this identity. And it's like building a house out of playing cards. You know, one false move, one little draft, and the whole thing comes crumbling down. It's incredibly vulnerable. So what you have to do is you have to protect it. And the bigger the card house gets, the more vulnerable it becomes, and the more vicious you have to be in protecting it. So anytime anything threatens the card house, you get all kinds of upset to the point where you're ready to set a bomb. You're ready to go and shoot teenagers on an island in Norway. That's how like insidious of a trap you get caught in. But for people like me who are graced with the experience to be turned around before that happens, you spend 7 years like desperately protecting the card house, and then somebody says, you know what, just let it fall down. And you take a step back and it just falls flat into nothing, and then you're like, wow. That was.
It's scary though too.
Right.
Like how
it's terrifying. Because the card house is all you know. This card house is who you are. It's your way of making sense of the world. And we make card houses not only inspired by white supremacy, but inspired by misinterpretation of religion, inspired by political attachments, by any sort of ideological attachments that can become a card house.
Or lived experience in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can in many ways say that on the 22nd of July 2011, my house of cards collapsed because of my understanding of my place in the world in many ways, and my experience of the fact that I was not necessarily by default safe all the time. And that was something that was fundamental to my way of life in many ways. The fact that by virtue of being Norwegian, by virtue of being a white man living in the Western world, essentially, I was never going to experience any kind of that kind of violence. And that completely collapsed, and my worldview completely collapsed. And my life since then has been like, how do we build new House of Cards that are potentially more based in reality?